So I've just played the Bourree from Bach's first lute suite, which I thought was a nice way to show what the guitar can do and how it can sound. The whole point of this exercise of producing a guitar was that having played the classical for 40 years on a classical instrument, I decided to change and try and find some new tones, new sounds, new ways of playing the same music. So the idea grew of finding a guitar that would do it. And the best thing I could come up with was actually designing one and getting it built. So that's what I've done. And that's the reason for this video, because the result is here now. So why an electric for classical music, and why is it different from an ordinary electric? Just a few things, just a few points will show how it's different. The first thing you'll notice is this armrest, which allows me to rest here rather than to have my arm flying in the air, which it did when I played other electric guitars. So that's here for the reason of the classical music. There aren't any dots on the neck, which is really just a visual thing. It doesn't make any difference. And also, I wanted to get as much tonal range as I could, so I've arranged the pickups and the way of selecting them so that I can get 13 different tonal contrasts. Other things came about when I started doing sketches. This is the very first sketch, this one here, where I cut out everything that I didn't think was needed. So the body is minimal, just enough room for the pickups and the bridge. There's a bit protruding here to rest on your leg, and a bit protruding here for your arm to rest on. And this bit here is to put a button on so you can hang it on a strap. There'll be another button here. The neck just fits on as it would any other electric guitar. Now, you probably agree that this isn't the most aesthetically pleasing guitar design. So I messed around with this idea here, got it a bit more swoopy, a bit more flowing. And then it developed from there to here to this pencil sketch. At this point it started looking a bit sort of fishy, bit of a tail there, swooping around, a bit of a swordfish spike there. And then the neck kind of worked itself into being an arm, and so therefore it's got 6 fingers on here, 1 for each string. That was all the bit of drawing there, that's what that's about. From there it was necessary to make sure that the guitar would actually work. So what I did, I used this guitar, which I'm very comfortable with in many ways, and took the dimensions, the necessary dimensions from it. How far is it from here to here, from there to there, across here, from there to there, all the dimensions that make it sit snugly here, and transferred them onto a drawing, which I've got here. Let's put it back in behind it. Fairly close to the sketch, the pencil sketch, and showing more or less the ideas that were made into production. The armrest here. On the drawing I've raised the wood of the body up here. You can see it rising up there on this side view, and there on the other side view. So that kind of grew out of the body, that was the idea. But everything else is more or less what I drew before. The neck sits quite proud of the body, so you can get access to as many frets as possible. Got your 3 pickups, your 3 selector knobs, buttons, and this will be a tone. Sorry, that's a volume, that's a tone, and this controls these 2 pickups here in a way which I'll describe in a minute. So there we are, that's the drawing I did. I took it along very proudly to the man who made the white guitar here, a guy called Trevor Wilkinson, who's responsible for Fret King guitars. He has a workshop in Southport, and said, "Oh, want to make this for me, mate?" He looked at it, looked at me, about that, but in the end he said yes, he did. And he even gave me a price and a delivery date, and he was accurate about the price at least. So after waiting several months and going and seeing it being made, so going through the process, it eventually came out like this. which I think you'll agree is pretty close to the drawing. Now, so I'll run through the various points on the guitar that Trevor had to accommodate for my design, and how he got around various technical problems and still made it look what I wanted. Start up here, headstock. Skinny headstock, nothing there that's not necessary except for these little cutouts here which I just added for decoration. And otherwise it's just a very straightforward headstock. Got the name of the guitar here, Classic Caster, because it's for playing classical music and it is basically a derivation of the famous Fender Stratocaster. On the back, I don't know if you can see that, here are the names of all the people involved in its creation. There's my name as designer, Trevor's name is on there as the technical wizard, really, he made it work, and then Mike Smith, who is a brilliant luthier, he actually put it all together. Coming down a bit further, then we've got the, what have we got now? The neck. Yes, that'll do. Made from maple with the rosewood fingerboard. Tiny little dots on the side here just to help me, which actually when it's dark I can't see, but never mind. It's got a coating on it which stops it sticking. It stops your thumb sticking to it in sweaty conditions. That can be terrible because your hand and your brain are saying, your brain's saying to your hand, go up here, but the neck is saying, sorry mate, can't, it's stuck. And that gets around that problem. What's next? No dots on the neck. Special, yeah, got all that. 3 pickups. Let's talk about the pickups. So these are what are called humbuckers. They've got two rows of poles, pole pieces. And one thing that Trevor does that is, as far as I know, unique, he allows these pickups to be either single coil, just one of these, or double coil. That makes it into a humbucker. And you can adjust that by just twisting this knob. That way you've got just one pickup on this one, and that way you've got both pickups. One in the middle is a straightforward single coil pickup, and you select them by just pushing these in or out. Very simple. The advantage of this system is, well, you've got the 2 choices for each pickup here, plus these 3 buttons, and in total there are 13 variations of tone. And then you can alter the tone further by twisting this as you would on any other guitar, and the volume is here. So those are the controls. The bridge is very straightforward. It's got brass bridge pieces which transfer the vibrations of the strings very faithfully into the wood, and it gives it a very, I think, very clear sound. There's quite a big chamber under here which gives it a sort of acoustic sound, kind of. On the back we've got where we plug in, so it's out the way, it just drapes over my leg. That's where the strings go through. These are the 4 bolts that hold the neck nice and firm. And these 3 screws here are for adjusting the height of the armrest. The outer ones raise and lower it, and the middle one locks when you've found the right position. So there we are. I think I've pretty well covered the reason for all these things. Other things, the horns, this is very minimal. It's just enough to sit there, no more. This one is as big as it needs to be in case I want to put a strap button on it. The body itself is made from a single piece of alder. Most guitars, solid body guitars, are made in 2 pieces that are book matched as much as possible. This one is just a grain, completely natural, no lines, nothing. Quite unusual. And the colour itself, we had a couple of goes at the colour. Eventually I got the turquoise green I wanted by adding just adding ink stains into a varnish or a lacquer, I'm not sure which, and you can see the grain through it. So I'm very, very happy with the way it looks, the shape, the way it plays, the sounds it makes. Everything came out exactly as I wanted, and I'm very, very indebted to Trevor and his maker Mike Smith for producing it for me. It's like a dream, well, it is a dream come true, precisely what I want. The trick now, of course, is to play lots of music on it and enjoy it, and hopefully play it so other people can enjoy it too. So thank you for listening, and now we move on to the last piece. So to finish and to show off what else the guitar can do, I'll play a piece by Villa-Lobos called Prelude number 4, and I'll be using a foot pedal for the volume control, which has this effect. And you'll be hearing that from the very beginning. Thank you for watching.